In 1979, the United States Military Academy at West Point recruited Kevin to swim. Following his graduation with a degree in engineering, he served in the U.S. Army for 5 years. In March of 1997, Kevin met his future wife, Leslie.
It was clear to me how special she was. 11 months later, I moved from Boston to California with a one-way ticket to be with her. We decided to buy a house together. In fact, we got engaged sitting on the front step. After spending the summer fixing it up, we got married in our backyard on September 12, 1998.
The couple welcomed their daughter Lauren in April of 2000, and then their son Michael in May of 2003. For the next 15 years, the Hellers were busy raising their kids. They were very active in sports, as well as with their work, school, and church communities. Kevin lived every moment to its fullest, and with personal grit and perseverance, he frequently participated in triathlons. Then, in early 2019, Kevin noticed changes in his health.
Swimming, which in many ways has been the single biggest part of my life, was also the thing that helped me determine something was wrong, being unable to do flip turns and keep the water out of my nose.
All of this was happening at the same time that Kevin learned that his company, Looker Incorporated, was being acquired by Google. For 6 years, he had led their sales team and helped build their tremendous success. It should have been the happiest time of his life. On July 16, 2019, doctors gave Kevin the diagnosis of ALS. He was 58 years old.
Ironically, my stepfather had ALS, and I watched my mom care for him and learned about the disease through their experience. And oh boy, I never in my wildest dreams would have imagined that I would be experiencing that awful disease again, and that my husband would be diagnosed with the same disease. It's just unbelievable.
I had not previously known this, but learned that people who have served in the military are at a greater risk of developing ALS than those with no history of military service.
Fueled by a strong foundation of faith, family, and friends, Kevin's ALS diagnosis led him to connect with the Golden West chapter of the ALS Association. He immediately signed up for the Napa Valley Ride to defeat ALS and walk, asking what the highest fundraising record was for a team, and then promised to surpass it. The Hellers were committed to raising awareness about the disease. Kevin and Leslie joined their son and his high school's varsity water polo team in taking the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Their daughter Lauren also organized an Ice Bucket Challenge with her college volleyball team. While the disease affected Kevin's ability to be as active as he once was, it did not diminish his desire to achieve his personal goals.
Cycling was the one thing I'm still able to do since my diagnosis.
Kevin and his family enlisted hundreds of friends, loved ones, colleagues, neighbors, partners, and followers.
The blessing of having ALS is you get a community of people, friends, family, co-workers who come around you and support you. It's amazing. I mean, look around. We don't do it by ourselves. We do it as a community. We will one day find a cure to this terrible, terrible disease by continuing to do what you all do, what we all do as an ALS community. Have a great ride! Let's do this! And Team Heller! Give them Heller! Woo!
With more than 80 supporters, Team Give 'em Heller raised more than $156,000 for the 15th annual Napa Valley Ride to defeat ALS and walk, a record for any individual team of this annual event, as well as for any event in the chapter's history. Kevin was also very active in research. He learned about an artificial intelligence system developed through Google called Project Euphonia. The project team worked to create a digital voice for him, using the voice-banked recordings he already had. Kevin was able to use the speech-generating device to share his story at a charity golf event hosted by San Francisco Giants' Brandon Crawford. It was the first time that the tool had been used publicly.
One of the things that I have learned from my battle with ALS is it is a disease that affects more than the person diagnosed with it. In many ways, it impacts the family even more.
When ALS first entered our lives, I wasn't really sure what it was. I didn't know how it was going to affect our family, what it would do to my dad. This disease, no matter how angering, how saddening, how awful and horrible it really was, ironically, it blessed us in so many different ways.
Even after he lost his speech, he was able to still participate with the help of computers and whiteboards and other forms of technology, where he would still make everyone laugh just as hard and smile just as wide.
Kevin was always a person who did his best to keep his promises. As the disease progressed, his family and network of friends and colleagues helped him to do this every day. Their love and dedication throughout his battle with ALS showed us all the impact that a community can have on so many others. Their never-give-up spirit inspired other teams to reach higher and raise more than ever before.
ALS has taken Kevin's voice, but his spirit and passion has never been stronger. He is an inspiration to all of us. We are now his voice, and we need to continue to fight this disease and work to ensure that Team Give 'em Helen does all it can to defeat ALS.
A special thank you to my dear mom, who traveled from New York to be with us today. Unfortunately, the progression has been very rapid for me, but we have not let that stop us from living and enjoying every day. Every single day is a gift. Recently, my son, Michael, surprised me with something very special. He asked his buddies to record video clips for me, to encourage me and to show their appreciation. Many came from the boys that were on my 5th grade basketball team. All the video clips had a singular theme that stood out to me. The message was timely, given the award that I just received, an award that I am very grateful for. But I am not the one who deserves this award, and let me explain why. I was struck by the fact that the boys talked about the team concept that we based our entire season on. It was an idea that we borrowed from Coach K, the Duke men's basketball coach, and his philosophy of the fist. It is basically that each individual finger on your hand can be very strong, but when they come together as a fist, they are exponentially more powerful. So that's how we played, like a fist. We played as a team. Team Give 'em Helen plays the same way. It's not just me. I am only one member of the powerful Team Fist. I am joined by my teammates, my family, friends, the ALS Golden West chapter, my co-workers, and our church family. Please don't ever give up. ALS must be defeated.
We thank the entire Heller family for their willingness to share their story and to advocate for others impacted by ALS, and for their ongoing commitment to raise awareness and funding to advance the search for effective treatments and cures.
Please take the time to let the people in your life know how you feel about them. I can assure you it's a gift that we'll cherish forever. Also, I recommend that you record your voice as soon as possible. Thank you to the Google Air team, Julie, Pam, and Michael, who have been my teammates on this project. Hug and love your kids. I am so proud of my 2 amazing children and love them with all of my heart.
To give back, take action, and elevate others around you in the face of personal adversity is a testament of character. Kevin Heller was the embodiment of that ideal.
What a truly remarkable human. I want to recognize Kevin's daughter, Lauren, Kevin's son, Michael, and his best friend for 20 years, his wife, Leslie. Leslie, we'd love to invite you to speak and say a few words on behalf of the family.